The summer of 2024 was a long one. It felt almost cursed. In the blink of an eye, 1 week, I lost two of the most important people in my life. My friendship with Emma Bogacki was one which couldn't have come to be in any other way. In short, there were no empty seats on the bus one afternoon in 2022, and Emma happened to be next to me. From there, she seemingly plucked me, an awkward, socially anxious nerd, out of the thin air and declared me her best friend of the whole world. She was the funniest person I've ever met. Never in my life have I laughed so hard or smiled so much. She was the kind of person who just knew instinctively how to entertain. She also happened to be one of the most determined people I've ever met. It occurred to me that in order to be funny, she thought she had to pretend to be dumb. In reality, she aced every class she had. She wanted to prove something to the world, that she was worth more than what she got in life. Baran was my piano instructor for almost a year and a half. In a year and a half, I learned more about music than I had in the past 5. I sought him out after a tough lesson with my previous instructor, who had long run out of things to teach me. I wanted to advance in my piano playing where I had stagnated for years. I walked into the piano lab and introduced myself, then walked out 10 minutes later with a business card. I took private lessons with him that summer, and immediately I knew he was the perfect teacher. He was an inverse of me in many ways, organized, reserved, and deliberate. But like me, he loved music. That was all he needed to help me flourish. When school started, he fought to get me private lessons with him for free at school rather than private paid ones. He fought for that because he saw something in me. A lot of people tell me I have potential, but rarely do they tell me how to achieve. Mr. Baran showed me how to achieve. When Emma passed, it felt like time started to slip away. I thought that it was fake. I read every article about the crash, looking for any semblance of hope. It killed a part of me, truly. It didn't even occur to me that I hadn't cried until 3 days later. I was so wrapped up in the details of her death that I distracted myself from her actual absence. That weekend, I heard a shout from downstairs. My mother held my shoulders as she told me that Mr. Baran was hit by a car in Boardman and had died. It felt odd to me that I cried then and there, not just for him, but for Emma too. That long summer, I shut myself in. I developed a fear of driving and ended planes to learn. I quit looking for a job because I didn't want people to see me. It took me months, as well as the beginning of school, to begin to heal. I met people who shared their memories with them, receiving sympathies of my own, and I realized that I was not the only one grieving. At some point, nostalgia becomes a currency in the process of collective grief. At the end of the road, though, there is peace. My peace came with this, peace. I channeled my creative energy into detailing my journey with grief within every section of this piece. As for the music itself, there's not much to be said other than to feel it for how it is. Simply feel what it feels. What set Emma and Mr. Baran apart is that they saw something in me. They saw that I was worth the time. They saw that I could be great. Through my compositions, I will prove to the world myself. I will prove to the world their impact on my life. For them, I will be great.
Thank you.